different and what makes you special. It was great advice, but it caused me some problems.
But what could change Freddie Adu?
Soccer is going to explode, and it's going to be around this kid.
We were the Beatles. Everywhere we went, it was the Freddie Show.
And with that came the expectation, and with that came the pressure.
New episodes of American Prodigy drop Tuesdays from Blue Wire Podcasts.
What's up, guys? This is the Uncontested Podcast, covering the Oklahoma City Thunder. This podcast is ran by Jacob, Nick, Justin, Taylor, and Kamiar. Listen to future episodes on your favorite podcast streaming service like iTunes or Spotify. And don't forget to leave a 5-star rating.
This is Lou Dort. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up? Welcome to the Uncontested Podcast. We're part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the official podcast of boomtownhoops.com. I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. To my right, I have Justin Peabody.
Hello, everybody.
Virtually.
To my left, I have Taylor Peterson.
So, now the Thunder are too good to tank. What are you guys thinking? Like 4th, maybe 5th in the West?
Why stop there? This is the year. I can feel
Rookie of the year, Theo Maledon.
Teo's taking the ship.
I thought that was going somewhere different, and I was like, why are we talking about Theo Maledon's bowel movements? But,
Gross.
Whatever, man. Yeah. Hey, I bet he shit's good, too. If he can shit half the way you can play basketball, it's got to be a quality poo.
Don't even.
Well, gentlemen, good to see you. We officially have a post-game podcast in the books.
Boom.
After last night. Also want to say what's up to everybody who is joining us live tonight on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. If you haven't, jump on. You need to make some plans. Sunday nights, 9 p.m.
With the boys of the Uncontested.
Yep. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We're streaming everywhere. Follow us on Twitter. We are at @_uncontested. The same on Instagram. Facebook is the Uncontested Podcast. On Twitter is the Uncontested Podcast, I think, as well. So not on Twitter, on YouTube. That's what I meant to say, on YouTube. Come join, hang out, get your questions in the chat. We will take your chat questions live as we go through this podcast. And then obviously, if you are not watching live, this will be ripped as a actual audio podcast that will be dropping on our feed very shortly after we get off the live stream. So subscribe wherever you get your podcast from. That's also where you'll be able to find all of our post-game pods as well. I don't know if we're going to do post-game video pods very often. Once in every blue moon, I think.
Special treat.
Special
treat.
game.
Those games where like Shea goes for 50 or Teo's like a 30-20-20. We'll go live for those games.
Right.
Right. But
those should happen pretty often though. So
maybe once a week.
Are too high.
Yeah.
We don't want to run ourselves in the dirt too much,
Right.
So, gentlemen, tonight we're going to talk a little preseason basketball for the Thunder, what we saw, what we expect moving forward, some league-wide preseason basketball. And then we're going to make our annual NBA season bets.
Yes.
Nick and Kamiar got scared.
Yeah, not that we ever see these bets through because we still haven't paid off like half of them.
Whoa.
I think Justin still owes me a pizza. I think I'm supposed to record a video.
Pick a day.
Pick a day, okay. I'm supposed to record a video, and I think in a KD jersey talking flat Earth theory, which after their Instagram live video the other day, I think I would fit right in.
Yeah, that was wild.
I'm ready for that.
Wild.
So
I enjoyed
one of my better bets.
Plenty of different forms of fried chicken based off the bet.
That's so true.
I got
a lot of fried chicken.
Popeyes from Taylor. I got Wingstop from Nick.
It's fried chicken. It's fried chicken.
I'm gonna try not to have fried chicken this year's bets. Well, yeah, it's good stuff. I love the bet.
Beautiful. Yeah. So the bet should be fun. We fired off some pretty spicy ones last off season and then during the bubble. So we'll see how spicy they come in tonight. I'm pretty excited for it.
About bubble bets.
Bubble bets.
Hold on, I got the audio. Hold on just a second. Where's it at?
Just for old time's sake.
Bubble bet.
Turn around, stick it out, show the world you got it.
One of my better masterpieces.
That's pretty good.
Is the plural of masterpieces? Because that sounds weird. Or is it master pie?
No, that sounds weird.
All right, gentlemen. Well, let's talk. I've already talked kind of ad nauseum about this last night, but let's talk OKC Thunder defeating the San Antonio Spurs. I think it was 128 to 121 to 108.
Yep.
There we go.
There it is.
I got the last digits messed up. 121 to 108.
Yes.
Just generic big thoughts coming out of preseason game number 1 against San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, man. So I think the biggest one and the most obvious one is one that, like you said, Jacob, you touched on yesterday. One that got me really excited when I was going back. I watched a individual highlight reel of this player and then saw him a lot on the 7-minute highlight reel that they did for the game. Kind of like a Spark Notes, Cliff Notes version of the of the scrimmage or if a preseason game felt like a scrimmage. But Theo Maledon. Hey, that's true. I think somebody was tweeting about that last night. Yeah, that's right. Sounder, and we need to get that in the peak whenever fans are allowed back. I was really impressed with his game. Just his feel and his poise for as young as he is, only 19 years old, was out there looking like like you mentioned in your post game, Jacob, he was out there doing Chris Paul moves. The one that comes to mind was in the third quarter. He kind of gets the ball towards the left, top of the key, dribbles towards the free throw line, and he almost while dribbling, boxes out his defender so that way that defender can come over and help and is able to just two others. He's able to draw 2 other defenders and then goes up with a nice little floater. Has a great touch, but the other thing too is just his passing ability and his vision. Where you mentioned that pass to Williams in the corner was pretty incredible. It just goes across his body. You had that one that didn't count where he basically threw it down to the other Williams, right? It was Kenrich, I think, that time who fumbled the ball. Just some of these plays I had no idea that he could make. And I keep going back to that quote that Tony Parker made that basically saying that him and Killian Hayes are the same level of player. And if Theo had gotten that kind of exposure, he would have gone higher in the draft. And it absolutely seems that way.
Yeah, you got Bran in the chat saying Teo's the best point guard in the 2020 draft.
I love it.
I mean,
we'll get our Theo shirts going.
Since the Thunder acquired Theo, you look back at all the stuff. I think it was Vicini a year ago had Theo in the top 5 in his mock draft,
and
I'm not entirely sure what caused that to change so drastically. But I think anybody, even if they do fall out, anybody that gets in, the top 5 of people's mock drafts, even if it changes over the course of the year, there's obviously something there. And the first game, it's super exciting. It's preseason. Let's not get too excited. But it's still really cool to see a guy like Theo come out and put on that kind of a show because outside of the numbers were good, but it's everything that he did when you watch the clips, all the different individual highlight plays, you can tell that he's just a guy that has a lot of skills and he's got a high basketball IQ
and a lot of confidence.
Confidence. So outside the counting stats, that's the stuff that gets me excited because there's going to be a long year of some games that probably aren't going to be as enjoyable to watch. But seeing a guy like Theo, who is a young prospect that could have a ton of potential for the Thunder, and it was maybe a little bit under the radar, being able to see him flourish like that. Jonathan in the chat, you might want to get that checked out. Yes, is it weird that the highlights gave me a boner?
Who needs Roman when you got Theo?
You got Theo, that's right.
All that to say, I think Jonathan and I are on the same page here. Maybe not the exact same page.
Twin boners.
Twin Towers. He's super impressive.
There's a joke about at a certain event there that I'm not going to make. I'm going to avoid that.
Where am I? I'm excited about Theo. How about y'all?
Well, and Justin, you bring up his poise, his maturity, his IQ. You got to keep in mind he didn't start practicing with the team until Thursday.
Yeah,
he wasn't there at the beginning of training camp.
They really didn't know.
He practiced Thursday. He practiced Friday. And then he played on Saturday.
I think there's a quote from Daignault saying something along the lines of, this is, we just kind of threw him out there and this is his starting point. I'm like, well, if this is his starting point, that's pretty special. But that was the point I was going to make earlier, Justin. You did make a good point that this is just preseason, regardless of who you're playing against. But it's also not summer league, right? Where Theo would be playing against other rookies and guys just trying to make it in the league. He was playing against guys like Murray and White and actual NBA players. And so that's impressive as well. Although, to your point, they probably aren't going nearly as hard or nearly as put together as they would be regular season. But still, there's a lot of things I think that you can take for verbatim, for lack of a better term, I guess. And I think a lot of what we saw is real, and excited to kind of see how that translates as they get to the regular season.
The summer league thing's really interesting, and something that I thought about, not just watching Theo, but, watching Poku. Like, the rookies this year, it'll be interesting to see how quickly they adjust, not just for the Thunder, but for across the league, because of the lack of summer league, because of the compressed training camp, because a guy like Theo missed half of training camp already. Right. It'll just be interesting to see how quickly they adjust to the NBA game outside of preseason. Once we actually start getting into the real games, that's a big chunk of developmental time and time with their clubs that these guys just won't have. So it'll be really fascinating to kind of track the development across the rookie class to see how that affects all of their adjustments to the NBA.
You sound like Poku, the way you're calling these teams clubs.
Well, hey, we've mentioned his name twice now. We need to move on to him. The Serbian sensation. One of my favorite things tweeted to me last night. Alexei Pokusevski, because he was cooking for a while out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Well
I like
done.
it. We need like a Pokedex entry of Pokusevski where he's like got a skillet or something.
Chef him and Chef Bays.
Chef
Oh,
Bays, there you
man.
go.
I love it.
2 chefs in the kitchen.
Poku was not afraid to shoot the ball.
His first
he got in
possession,
there
sitting there like doing this.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, give me the ball.
Every time up and down the court, he had his hands up like he was like, even like, SGA would get a rebound and start pushing it. And Poku's looking at him with his hands up like, why are you not giving me the ball? And I'm like, dude, I love this. Hell yeah, Poku. He's like, he's like a 7-foot Dion Waiters. Like,
it's beautiful.
God, if only.
Straight into
That
the
would be a
veins,
dream
baby.
come true.
Let's go. Struggled a little bit, did some crazy shit. Like he pulled the rebound
shot
off the rim, went full court, jumped, closed his eyes, did a 360, and just tossed it up.
That looks like me
the
driving
top
the
of the
paint.
backboard.
Like me driving the paint and pickup right there.
That's gonna be what everyone's pickup run looks like when we finally get back to playing pickup after COVID.
Exactly.
But flash some skill. He can get the ball. He can rebound pretty well. He can push the ball in transition. He can dribble. He was hitting catch and shoot threes. He was like catching and curling off screens and like pulling
that
up
was
and hitting
impressive.
threes.
And that's one thing I remember. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Jonathan Tjarks at the Ringer talking about how he almost reminds him of Klay Thompson moving the way he's able to move off ball, which obviously is a very wild comparison. They look and really don't even play all that much alike, but he does move off the ball extremely well, Jacob, to that point. And like you said, he's not afraid to shoot it. And one thing that goes really well for him, specifically for his size, is his quick release. It's just incredibly quick. Now it's flat. But it's flat and it gets there quickly. I mean, it's quick, but that quick release is really
that
impressive.
jump shot and I have a lot in common.
I think it was John Hamm tweeted
flat and quick.
Something about Poku doesn't shoot the ball; he just like pushes it towards the basket.
Yeah,
now, granted, it goes in quite a bit, but that's it's more of it's almost like a shot put.
Yeah,
it's a little unorthodox, but I'm excited to see what Poku can do. You got to keep in mind he is the youngest player in the NBA.
Exactly.
I mean, this kid is 18 years old. He is a child. It's going to be
a lot of growth and development still.
Yeah,
even the next couple of seasons.
We don't really need to be too worried or obsessed about where Poku is on game 1 of the preseason. We need to be worried about where Poku is in April and May.
Yep.
Right. What does the difference look like between now and then, right? We're judging him not where he's at, but what his growth will be. I think that's really going to be the barometer to see what he can be in the league, is what his growth ends up looking like.
Yep.
And so I'm excited to watch that growth take place over time.
I agree. I think 2 things that I'm kind of looking for and I'm interested in. One is kind of specific. I think it'd be really cool to use Alexei's big frame, right, and be able to go out there and set picks for some of these ball handlers like Theo and Shea, and be able to pick and pop and get some wide open threes that way, and just create more offense using Poku as he continues to get bigger and stronger, which obviously is something he's going to have to focus on this season. And the other is once we do get into regular season games and there's more scouting that's actually going on, and teams kind of or Poku kind of starts to build reputation, and there's game film on him. He has a lot of weaknesses still, and it's going to be easy to exploit those for if you're an opposing team. I'm curious how Alexi's able to adjust, and if he's still able to get some of these shots off, for example.
Yeah, I mean, the thing he has going for him is like the same thing that why every Kevin Durant shot is uncontested,
because it's so high.
Plug in the pod name. But yeah, it's just because like you can't. It doesn't matter who's in his face. You're not in his face. He's so tall and his arms are so long that any shot on the court is an open shot. That's going to be his biggest attribute. And thankfully, that's something he doesn't need to work on or change at all. That's just part of his body. And so that's going to help him a lot. I think beyond that, what you hit on, Tayler, is, weight is going to be a huge factor. And then I think just getting some like fundamentals. Jacob, I think you tweeted from the account, you called him like drunk Bambi on ice or something like that. And I think that there's just a lot of like extra appendage movement when Poku moves around that's not necessary. And I think that if you trim some of that down, it's gonna make him more efficient. It's gonna make his movements a little cleaner. I think it's gonna make him a better player, and all that stuff will come with time. Like you said,
you know what that sounds like?
Playing in his first game.
Yep.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like first year Jeremy Grant.
It does. That's a good point.
That is a good point. Jeremy Grant was an adventure whenever he would
drive every time he drives the ball.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
If Poku can get as yoked as Jeremy can.
Yeah, now we're talking.
We're in business.
Exactly.
We are in business.
with a better shot.
God, he looks tiny out there. He looks so small out there.
I think John Hamm and Mikey Berra yesterday, or this morning when they did their post game, they called him like a breadstick.
Man, you remember the story that in the draft, Kevin Durant couldn't like bench press
like
35 or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know if Poku can do a push-up. Like
Poku might not be able to lift the bar.
Yeah. I had a kid in high school in weightlifting class who literally could not lift the bar. I was like, man, you are...
Hey, that's why he was
we'll get you there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was there to learn.
Good for him. He was in the class. I think he was in the class because he had to have the PE credit to graduate. But
hey,
it's like, hey, man, you have the room for the most growth here, right?
That's right. Nowhere to go but up.
That's true.
And that's exactly what Poku is. There's nowhere to go but up in a lot of facets. But I think
it's too bad Steven Adams isn't still here so he could spot him in the gym.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be fun.
He could weightlift Steven Adams like plates of food and probably put on a lot of weight. Though I did see a pic, Admiral, I think it was Admiral Schofield on his Instagram in San Antonio. He was
is wild.
Posted up at Ruth's Chris by himself eating a surf and turf. And I was like, okay, he's got a little Steven Adams in him there with that.
Nice. Hey, I'm going to be real honest with you guys. Whenever Admiral Schofield came in the game, I was like, I thought Lou Dort wasn't playing tonight.
Yeah, right.
The build, the size, the hair, very similar.
Yeah,
they do look similar.
I also, every time someone came in the game, I had to pull out my phone and get the roster. And
Chris Williams is this?
Figure out what number is that? Who is that person?
Yeah.
So
I haven't had that problem in a while.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's project forward. The Thunder have 2 more preseason games coming up on Wednesday and Friday night, both against the same team, the Chicago Bulls. Good old Billy D is coming back to town. What are you guys' thoughts moving into that? Obviously, a lot of players did not play in the first preseason game. I would assume everyone will be ready to go for Wednesday and Friday as tune-up games. What do you think the lineup looks like? Who's getting minutes, and what are you excited to see from the players that did not play tonight or last night, I guess? Sorry.
So I'm going to be really looking at lineups, and that's what's so tough about this. Justin, you mentioned this earlier, just the compressed time frame. Usually you have a little more time to get an idea about rotations, and then once you get to the last 2 preseason games, you're kind of just fine-tuning that rotation a little more, and you're ramping up minutes a little more gradually. But it's almost like, once you finally have your full team back, hopefully on Wednesday, you kind of are going to have to still play some of those, Isaiah Robies and Schofields and Jackson and Williams, all those guys, to kind of see how they perform and where they're going to kind of, fall in line on the roster. So, because there's going to be some cuts that have to happen, as Jacob and I talked about last week. come the beginning of regular season. So I'm definitely going to be looking at who kind of steps up, specifically with some of these guys who won't be starting. They'll be coming off the bench this go around. It'll be interesting to see how that translates. And then I think that last game on Friday, we are going to see more of a final rotation. And I'm really curious to see how that looks also. But just getting guys like Al Horford and Bazley and Dort back, like that's going to be a really fun lineup. And something else I'm really looking forward to is seeing Theo and Shea start to play more and get more chemistry together. I think that's really, when you have two guards that versatile, with that much skill, there's a lot of opportunity. So I'm excited to see them continue to play together and gain a little more chemistry.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is getting those guys back that weren't in San Antonio. I was excited to see a lot of them again. So excited to see some of them for the first time. A guy like Al Horford probably isn't going to play a ton, if at all, which is fine. But, like Bazley and Dort, I'd like to see those guys out on the floor alongside a Admiral Schofield or a Theo or Poku to see how that looks. It's interesting. The Bulls, I'm looking at it here. The Bulls beat the Rockets tonight after losing to them last night. Not that means anything because it's preseason, but Zach LaVine, 23 points, Kobe White, 20 points. I think the matchup with those guys, with who the Thunder can put on them, like I said, Lou Dort, SGA, George Hill, Theo Maledon, seeing how they match up. Yeah,
that's a really good point.
And the team dim. So like the interior, I think, especially given that I don't think Al Horford plays very much, who commands the paint, who can defend the paint with the rest of those guys. Cause like, I don't know, you can play Muskie at the 5, but like, is he a rim protector? Not so much.
Right.
So seeing who the
Thunder,
like that's when you start to get down the list of centers beyond Al Horford, it's a little questionable. And so I'm curious to see it's a thin list. So I'm curious to see who in that spot steps up. Cause I think the Bulls might put a little more pressure on them with drives to the basket.
Yeah. I'm curious about the guard rotation also. That's one area that's really deep on this roster.
Yeah, I talked about that in the post game. You got Shea, you got Hill, you got Lou, you got Frank Jackson, you got Theo, you have Ty Jerome.
Oh, Ty Jerome. I forgot about that.
Yeah, technically Hami can play 2. You can play 3.
Miller.
You have a lot of guys that can kind of fill in those guard spots. And so it's going to be very interesting to kind of see how that rotation kind of plays out. I'm excited to see Bazley. That's my biggest thing. Lou and Bazley. Horford, like it's going to be cool to see him play, but I want to see how Bazley has grown, what he looks like, what he does. I have a lot of high expectations for him this year.
Yep.
And so I want to see what he looks like and what he can do. My hope for Bazley is he's made strides as far as like driving to the basket and finishing.
Yep, I agree.
Has continued to get that jump shot down. So it's going to be really fun, especially to see Shea out there running the show with the guys he's going to be running it with. I want to see Shea out there running pick and roll with Darius Bazley, running pick and pop with Al Horford. With Lou out there, where when Shea drives, he's got Lou, who's such a great off-ball cutter, dropping dimes to Lou as he cuts off ball, different things like that. I'm really excited for.
And shot distribution.
What about league-wide as far as this past weekend? We've seen a lot of preseason games. Anything league-wide stick out to you?
Well, you mentioned, Justin, the Houston Rockets. I've been pretty impressed watching John Wall and Boogie.
Yeah.
They both seem healthy. Obviously, nobody's really in NBA game shape right now. They're still kind of getting back into shape, but they both look pretty good. They look healthy. And if they're playing on a high level, like John Wall's going down, like knocking down pull-up three-pointers, which we didn't see a lot of prior to his injury. So I'm really curious to see how that continues to progress, especially when you bring James Harden back in, Christian Wood when he's ready to go. They might make me eat my words about having them outside of the Western Conference playoffs, especially if James Harden kind of likes his team and decides to stick it out for the season.
Without James Harden, like I could kind of see myself rooting for the Rockets. But with James Harden, I just can't do it. Outside of that, LaMelo Ball's passing.
Jonathan Essen brought that up. It's a good point.
Put on a show some of those highlights were pretty impressive.
Those behind the back passes.
Yeah.
It's just wild. Full court, one-handed passes like he was Jokic.
Yes.
It's impressive.
I'm ready to see LaMelo and Trae Young go head to head.
Oh, that'll be fun.
The highlight reel would be insane.
We got to talk about my guy, Denny.
Oh, Denny today. Yeah.
100% from the field, I think.
6 of 6 on 18 points.
How'd that make you feel?
Nice, warm, tingly. Denny goes 6 for 6. Russ is talking shit to KD from the bench. Preseason game 1, baby. Sign me up. I'm a Wizards fan now.
I love it.
That clip of Russ at practice. Did you guys see that? That went around yesterday?
Scotty won't let him dunk.
Scotty won't let me dunk.
He seems to mentally be in a much better place than in Houston. So good for him, man. Good for him.
I agree.
He seems like not the city, the franchise of the Houston Rockets seems to be in not great place. Not a great place at the moment. So any other preseason thoughts league wide?
We had KD and Kyrie today. KD obviously not a small sample size, but KD did also talking about, speaking of healthy, KD also looked much more healthy, which is a great thing for the league and is a lot of fun. Man. And so we'll see. It was pretty cool to see him.
I hope they keep doing Instagram lives instead of media availability.
Agreed.
Yes.
Talking about their former lives and
Love
such.
it.
Do we want to make bets on if they're going to get a COVID vaccine or not?
Who, Kyrie and KD?
Yeah.
KD probably will.
There was the tweet about like the NBA may require players to get the vaccine, but if not, there may be like some alternative method. I'm really curious to see what happens with that because
Kyrie uses essential oils.
There's gonna be people that are gonna opt out.
Right.
Outside of Kyrie, Michael Porter
Jr.
They're gonna have an interesting scenario on their hands in a couple months.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good point. Also, it was kind of interesting seeing Russ and KD dap each other up after the game and talk and smiling. And that was.
I wish they would have fist fought. Would have made it a lot better. The Kyrie stuff is weird.
Kyrie's wild.
Very.
Very. Kyrie's the type of guy that like thinks he's super deep, but is not deep at all. But he's like on a mission to convince you that he's deep. Like every time he opens his mouth, that's the vibe I get out of him. Like some of the things he says are fine, but then sometimes it's just like, what are you doing, dude? Just stop. Just don't.
Kyrie is a suburban white kid who has just spent his his second week on university campus.
Right.
Has talked to like all the liberal professors and is like
his whole world's opened up. Yeah.
He's just so enlightened now.
Yes. Kyrie. Yeah. That's never mind.
You guys in the chat are killing me. Some of these I don't think we're supposed to read on the podcast, but you guys are killing me in the chat.
Yeah, that's enough Kyrie slander.
Anything else from the preseason league wide? I'm trying to think. I don't think there's been anything else super exciting. Taylor Horton Tucker's going for like 30 right now. Don't really give a shit about that.
Koku or whatever from the Cavs had like 18 points and what's his last name?
Koku?
Okoro.
Okoro.
Put that one in the Taylor Hall of Fame.
I could find his name with
I've heard it has a torn of chilies. Holy shit, Taylor.
Well, I gotta say, the empty arenas suck. Suck a lot more than the bubble.
I gotta say, our friends over at the Timeline podcast had a pretty good tweet the other day.
Funny.
They said what the PR people think a preseason game should sound like when they're pumping in the crowd noise. And it showed like a huge rave with everybody going crazy. Pretty funny.
We need to adjust those sliders a bit.
Yeah,
100%.
They need to ramp it up also as we get into the regular season.
All right, guys. Well, let's tell everybody about who is sponsoring this podcast, and then we're going to get on to making some bets.
Ooh.
2020 has already reshaped how we work, and it's almost over. Businesses across the globe are challenged to be their most efficient, which means every hire is critical. Indeed is here to help. Indeed is the #1 job site in the world with more total visits than any other job site, according to ComScore. Indeed helps you find quality candidates quickly. You can focus on hiring the person you need to keep your business going. Unlike other sites, Indeed gives you full control and payment flexibility over your hiring. You only pay for what you need. You can pause your account at any time, and there are no long-term contracts. And now, Indeed's new way of matching you with candidates instantly delivers a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria that you can contact the moment you sponsor a job, making Indeed the only job site that can move as fast as you do. 73% of online job seekers in the U.S. visit Indeed each month, according to ComScore total visits. So it's clear Indeed can help you get the quality hire you need. That's why more than 3 million businesses worldwide use Indeed for hiring. And right now, Indeed is offering our listeners a free $75 credit to boost your job post, which means more quality candidates will see it fast. Try Indeed out with a free $75 credit at Indeed.com/BlueWire. This is their best offer available anywhere. So go right now to Indeed.com/BlueWire. Offer valid through December 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
Football is back in full swing. You might not be at a game this year, but you can still be in on the action at BetOnline. BetOnline is going the extra mile to make sure you can get in on every possible chance to win this season. From game spreads and totals to team, player, and coaching props, BetOnline gives you more options to wager than anywhere else. You can get in on their season opening bonuses today and start off wagering on wins, division, and championship futures all day, every day. Head to BetOnline today and take advantage of all the great sign-up bonuses. Don't forget to use promo code BlueWire at betonline.ag. That's BlueWire, all one word. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.
All right, gentlemen. It's one of my favorite days of the year. The days where we make some really crazy, weird bets based on the NBA. And and we gamble some stuff. I'm ready to do it.
Sold.
Let's get the ball rolling. One of you guys get to start. I don't care where we start. Thunder centralized, league centralized, big, small, something hot take, something really simple. One of you guys throw a bet out, and let's start to gamble a bit.
I got one.
All right.
Oh, he's ready. Let's go, Justin.
I'm ready. Since
you guys want some background music while we do this?
Yeah, let's set the mood. I was thinking I was a little disappointed we didn't have a bet sounder.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Not throw anyone under the bus.
But,
okay,
we'll do some laid back hip hop.
There you go.
So we spent a fair time talking about him earlier. One Mr. Darius Bazley. I think Darius Bazley is going to have a few nights this season that make our jaw drop, where he transitions from the intern to the CEO. And I think Darius Bazley will have a 40-piece this season.
Oh,
I like it.
Boy.
Anyone want to take that bet?
Taylor, you want it? Or you want me to take it?
It's up to you. I'll take you up on that one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to have a 40-piece.
I'm going to keep track of these as we go.
Which reminded me of one that I had that I actually didn't write down. But no, I think 30 is likely. 40 is pretty. That'd be a lot. That means he's like hitting 3-pointers and looking like Baby Giannis out there.
I'm coming out swinging, Taylor.
I like it. Yeah. So I'm going to say no. Do you have a bet in mind already, Justin?
I do.
Okay.
Because I think he's going to give the league a 40-piece. When he does, I'd like for you to give me a 40-piece. We're going to bet a nugget tray.
I like it. I like it. 40 for 40.
Yes. So 40 nugget tray from where?
I don't care.
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Gotta be from Chick. God, can you eat 40 nuggets in one sitting, Justin?
We'll find out.
In the fridge and
dude, I could do 40 nugs easy.
We'll live stream it.
The live stream will take 5 minutes.
Have you guys seen the nugget challenge? The I think multiple people have done it. Maybe I'm wrong, but there was a guy last season for sure that was like for every point the Nuggets scored against his team, he would eat a nugget.
Nice. I like
So
it.
good.
Oh man,
Good idea.
Ugh,
That's pretty good.
that is good.
I could destroy a 40-piece nugget from Chick-fil-A. Give me some barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Oh, yeah, I'm going the
Whoa.
Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce.
Nah, pass.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Give me that Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, not a Chick-fil-A
Polynesian sauce as a backup.
Ooh. Sam
All right.
Buffalo guy.
Taylor, hit us with a bet.
All right. Well, I guess if Justin's starting out hot, I'll throw out one of my hot ones.
Spicy.
Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Theo is starting next to SGA by end of the season. Not quite as hot as Justin's, but I like that one.
Theo starting by the end of the season.
Next to Shea.
Hmm.
Theo CP3 Jr.
That's interesting. I mean, I feel like the most likely way that we get there is because George Hill gets traded.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but even if George Hill gets traded, I don't know if Theo steps in. I'll take it. Screw it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
We want
There
to
we
keep let's keep the clever themes for the bets going. We got a 40-piece for the 40-piece. So what are we betting on Theo starting?
Theo starting. Let's see.
What do you want to gamble?
We could go like
It's got to be something French.
something French. That makes it a little more
You
tough.
want to do like a croissant?
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
You almost made me drop my croissant. We're going to croissant?
I like it. That's good. That's good. Well, yeah.
Okay.
French for the
Taylor
French.
bets that I'm writing this down. Taylor bets Theo is starting by end of year.
Hey, my guy
Jacob
Sean says that
takes
Theo's
it.
starting by All-Star break. Yeah.
Betting croissant.
Right.
So dumb.
I'm into it. Where do you
John
even get
says
croissants
crepes.
at?
Oh,
There's
man.
a little French bakery down around the corner
That's
from
what I was
me.
gonna say. It's gotta be
You got to
like
get
a
him
French
fresh.
bakery. Oh, good.
I have to tell a sidebar about a croissant, just because we've said the word croissant more times than ever on this podcast. So I used to work at a little cafe coffee shop in college. I went to college in Arkansas, and we had a lot of good old boys that came through there.
Hipster.
So this big fella in his Wranglers walks in one day, and he goes, "Y'all got any Texas toast?" And I was like, "No, we don't have Texas toast. We have
This isn't a diner, sir.
we have light wheat bread, or we have croissants." And he kind of thinks about it for a second, and he goes, "Take one of them croissants and put some butter on it and stick it on the panini grill. I'll have that." I was like, "Okay, dude." So I slathered the croissant in butter, and honestly, as I sat there watching it cooking, it looked incredible.
That's awesome.
I knew what he wanted.
And he took a bite and he goes, "That's some good Texas toast." And after he left the store, I'd be lying if I said I didn't go make one for myself.
Oh yeah. Texas
That's
toast
awesome.
is 100% the American croissant.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Maybe we should have done beignets. You ever had beignets before?
No.
Beignets
Beignets
are
are- beignets are
amazing.
good. Beignets are good. All right. My turn for a bet. I shouldn't do this. I've gone down this hole before.
Gross.
It led to nothing but pain and misery. What'd you say?
I said gross.
I didn't say I've been in this hole. I said I've gone down this hole.
I don't know if that's better. Anyway, carry on.
I'm doing it. I'm going for it. I don't need to. I shouldn't.
But
But
you do.
screw it. The Philadelphia 76ers are the second seed in the East by the time we're all said and done.
Ooh. Okay.
Last year I took them to make the NBA Finals. I'm
I
turning
remember
it back a little bit.
Just a tad.
Philly is the 2 seed
Yeah. No.
by the end of the season.
Pass. I'm still not a Philly believer.
All right, you want to bet me?
Yeah, I'll bet you. This
All right,
one's easy.
Philly
feel like
cheesesteak.
That's
I
got
feel like
a
I
lot.
gotta
Oh
bet
yeah,
you
you do a Philly cheesesteak.
We got
there,
a better Philly cheesesteak.
I
Are we
like
just
I
going to
like
do food
themes.
this whole pod? Is that all
I
it's going to
mean,
be? Is
that's
food?
usually how it
Depends.
ends up.
Themes.
Okay.
There's
All right,
a
so-
fantastic place not too far from my house called Fred's downtown Philly, and the decor is just like Philly sports jerseys from Walmart, and then like printed off pictures of movie scenes that are in Philly, like all over the
Oh,
wall.
that's kind of cool.
And that's all you need to know about how good the sandwiches
We have
are.
a-
Because if they
We
don't
have
give a
Fat
crap
Phillies
about the
here in
decor,
Tulsa.
that means the food's good.
Exactly. I was gonna say the guys at Fat Phillies here in Tulsa, I think they're from Philadelphia. It's good stuff.
There's some really good Philly cheesesteak spot here in OKC. I forget what it's called, but everyone raves about it. They say it's really good. I think there's one in Edmond and one maybe in like Plaza Midtown area.
Mother Row Market is what Jonathan's saying.
You guys ever had Texadelphia? It's like
sorry.
Speaking of
Yeah,
Texas toast,
Texadelphia is not bad.
Philly cheesesteak Texas style. Those are pretty good.
Not bad. Not
Okay,
bad.
Justin, we're back to you with another bet.
All right, I'm going to get this one out here because I want to make sure since I've inspired everybody with themed bets, I don't want anyone to take my my payoff on this one. Theo Maledon will shoot 40% from 3 this season, which, for the record, would be his highest percentage ever in a season. So I'm saying he will shoot better in his first year in the NBA than he ever has before.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I already took one Teo bet. I'm gonna get a croissant.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
Taylor,
gonna get a croissant.
Teo bet, Taylor.
Yeah, I'll take you up on that, Justin. I'm not so sure. 40% is pretty
40% high. I think last year I had a 40% bet, and I think the Thunder had. I think it was just Gallo was the only one on the Thunder that was above 40. So
That's what it was. You had like multiple players.
Schroeder was really close last year.
Schroeder
Wasn't
was close.
Yep. That's a good one. I actually have one kind of similar about OKC as a team. But do you have anything specific in mind? Or you want me?
I do.
Okay, good.
The loser has to sing the French national anthem on.
Oh, that's great.
In French, obviously.
That is good. We'll do it on the restream.
Yes,
I like it. Okay, deal.
French national anthem. Does the French national anthem slap kind of like the Canada national anthem? Because the Canada national
anthem is undefeated, but the French national anthem is pretty
Canada.
Good. Yeah, you can't beat it. It's
banger.
So good.
Banger.
Throw a chill rap beat on behind that.
Yeah. We've got like it goes Cream by Wu-Tang.
I was wondering where this was going.
All Right by Kendrick Lamar. Oh, Canada. That's the order.
Jacob's tier of music. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Absolutely. Sold.
Oh, hey, speaking of Wu-Tang, go get a Wu-Tang Clan shirt.
Plug.
You know you want one. We're going to plug them.
Plug them.
All right, Taylor, you're up again.
What they say about the Wu-Tang Clan. It ain't nothing to F with.
Ain't nothing
They do say that. They do.
So this one I actually didn't write down, but Justin reminded me of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there because I think this is kind of hot. Let's say 4 or more different players on the Thunder scored 30 or more points this season.
Four different players will have a 30 piece.
Yowza. That's hot. Jacob, what do you think? I'll take this bet, but I feel like I'm taking a lot of bets.
I don't think that's going to happen. Who could score 30? We said Bays.
Lou.
Obviously, Shea's going to get 30.
Baisley, Shea,
Lou.
like
Lou.
Theo or Frank Jackson scored 30.
Game
in the
7,
bubble.
Lou. It's coming.
Al Horford might get hot, before the trade deadline. He decides he wants to put on his show.
4 guys getting a 30 piece. I'd be interested in the history. When's the last time the Thunder had
4
Did 4 guys score 30 last year? Did Chris ever hit 30?
It's a good question.
We know Lou did. We know Shea did.
Dennis had to have. Dennis
Gallo.
It feels right. I have nothing to verify this, but it feels right.
I'm trying to think.
I think this could happen. If Frank, I say this and Frank's going to get cut, but I have a lot of faith in Frank.
I'll give you first right of refusal.
First right.
I'll let you have it. I want it, but I'll let you.
I'll take that bet.
You guys gonna bet 4 30 pieces?
4 30 pieces.
No.
We could do $30. Or one that I have in mind, and I think, Justin, this might pique your interest.
Okay, I'm listening.
So the city gear for OKC in the jerseys, maybe they're growing on me, right? They're my favorite. But when the statement gear comes out, I'm a little excited about that. What if we did like a statement like hat, OKC hat, or t-shirt?
I'm game.
You gotta tie it into the 30 thing though.
I mean, it's probably around $30.
Yeah, that's true. I'll buy that. Just because I want Tayler to buy me a new shirt.
All right, they're betting a
You mean statement gear or earned gear?
Or earned. Sorry, I said statement. Yes, I mean earned. Once it comes out,
the uniform nerd's gonna keep you correct here.
Yeah, that's right. No, good point. I did statement. I'll have it.
Yes, earned gear.
I want to see the earned gear.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is one we're gonna have to wait on. Well, honestly, and it makes sense because of that we're gonna have to wait on too, probably until the end of the season. So we'll have the statement gear by then.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Sold. I like it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
These are fun bets.
Yeah. I'll do a Thunder themed one this time since I did NBA themed. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I'm just winging all these. I didn't prep. I didn't prep any.
Typical.
Yeah. I'm like the one that puts the outline together and gets everything all organized. Didn't prep at all. So
you told everybody, you're like, hey, we're going to do bets. So everybody have 3 to 4 bets. And you're like, yeah, never mind.
I did like 6 apiece. I mean, I'm not going to use them all, but options.
Okay, here we go. Last year, Shay had 20-20-10. This season, I'm going with Shay has 30-10-10. Not 20-20-10, 30-10-10 in a game.
I don't know if I can take you up on that one because I have a kind of similar one. I'll just go ahead and say it because I'm probably not going to use it. I have that Shay's going to average 23 plus points, 7 plus rebounds, and 5 plus assists. And just for reference, last year he averaged 19 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 3.3 assists.
That's good. So I'm going to go Shay 30-10-10. Either of you guys want that?
That one feels doable.
Okay, so it's not hot enough. Okay, here.
No.
Shay goes 40-10-10.
Oh, I'll take that bet.
Okay, let's do it. I'm probably going to lose this. I need half the team to get COVID. And for Shay just to play out of his goddamn mind.
And have the other team to get COVID.
Right, exactly. That's Shay in an open gym. Okay.
Shay get 40-10-10 in
Shay gets the Spurs G League.
I like this. If all you have to do is pretend that Jacob's bets are stupid, and then it'll make them worse. And
I give into the peer pressure too easy. Can we get middle ground and go 35-10-10?
I'll meet you in the middle. I'll meet you in the middle. 35-10-10.
That's maybe doable.
I'll say no. Now watch, he'll get 30-10-10, and you're going to be pissed.
He'll get 32-10-10.
So what are we betting on a 35-10-10 Shay game?
Is there something triple double related, like a triple double? You don't have In-N-Out. I was going to say buy me a triple double from In-N-Out.
Yeah, we don't have In-N-Out. Do we want to do food? Or we want to do something different? We've done a lot of food.
I mean,
not that I don't like
toast.
Love food. This bet will come to fruition at the end of the season, right? Or sooner. If he hits it like in January, shit, you got to pay me.
Game 2.
But
Game 2.
It could go up to the very last game of the season to see if he gets the number or not.
The anticipation of that regular season game.
Yeah, we will be hopefully on the back end of COVID at that point. We can all get together and hang out in person.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know.
I thought you had a setup here.
No, I'm trying to think. If we all get together and hang out in OKC, what is something that I can get from Justin that he owes me?
Let's do a round of Top Golf.
Oh,
okay. I've never been to Top Golf. I think I've swung.
Never been to Top Golf?
I think I've swung a golf club like 3 times in my entire 30 years of existence.
You don't really have to be good at golf for Top Golf. That's
no, you do not.
Part.
Okay,
so
round of Top Golf it is.
Round at Top Golf.
I like it.
We're gonna get kicked out because I'm gonna swing the golf club and let it go and watch that bitch go flying. It's gonna be bad.
Yes, I like it.
Justin, you got another bet?
Yeah, this is my third and final bet. It is my league-wide bet. And I'm betting that James Harden will not be traded this season.
Oh, I have that one.
Taylor's taken both Justin's bets, so I will take this one.
I have that one.
Yeah. So Justin says Harden won't be traded this season.
Yeah.
Jacob's taking the bet. What do you want to bet? We just
So
did
what I had written down, if you're into it, is the loser has to post a James Harden avatar for the week of the other person's choosing. So like I get to pick a picture of James Harden. Good. It has to be your avatar for a week.
On Twitter? Yeah, I think that's fair. We got to change the Twitter. Change Twitter Avi to Harden pick. I want the one. I'm just throwing this out there now. Whenever I win, or if you win and it has to be my Avi, I want the one where Giannis threw the ball off his head.
I'm going to get you one of the ones where he's making it rain in the club.
Yeah, I was about to say, get me one reason.
His rafter up in the strip club.
Pink eye in the club. That's the one I want.
Also, awesome. Sean in the chat throwing out a bet payoff idea that I have to do 30 push-ups, 20 pull-ups, and 20 sit-ups. That's not happening. 0% chance, Sean. This is why we make food bets.
Not fitness bets. Taylor, hit us with one.
All right. I think I might just throw out my spiciest league-wide one, just in case. Russ makes another All-NBA team next season, playing for the Washington Wizards.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm gonna take it.
Taking it. All right.
Take it. I want to tweak this a little bit, if you're okay with it.
Yep.
Okay. So first, I'm taking it, and you tell me if I lose and Russ. Ooh, did our music stop? I don't know what happened there. Oh well. If Russ does make an All-NBA team, what do I have to do? If I lose this bet, what do I have to do, Taylor?
Oh man. This is tough. So I had a good one that I was hoping Nick or Comier would be on here for, because I was going to say like an opposing football team hat gear, because Comier is a Steelers fan and Nick's a Cowboys fan and I'm a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I don't really care.
The rest of mine are food. The rest of mine are food. So what's something? The Avatar one was really good. I've used that one in the past.
I think someone needs to shave their head.
Shave their
I'm just throwing that out there because I'm not involved.
Easy for me.
I want to look at balls. Jacob pulls it off great.
Summer would not allow Taylor to be on the podcast anymore if he lost
that. Man, this is tough. I want to do something Russ related, but I can't think of. I'm trying to think of.
Something Russ related. I could like tell someone's wife to sit the F down. No.
Okay. I like this idea. You got to wear a Russ outfit. So like whoever wins gets to pick any like Russ player entrance outfit. And the other person's got to
there you go.
If I lose,
I like it.
Taylor. So if Jacob loses, Taylor picks
Shout out Sean.
Outfit
Good idea.
for Jacob to wear. Here's how I want to do this a little bit. Okay, Taylor, you ready? You're taking Russ makes an All-NBA team, and if he does, I lose.
Yep.
I'm going to take his backcourt mate makes an All-NBA team.
Mm.
So if Russ makes it, you win this bet. If Brad Beal hits All-NBA,
what happens if they both do?
You both.
I'm thinking Brad Beal. I almost had one that said Brad Beal will be a top 3 MVP candidate.
That's kind of spicy. I like that.
Yeah.
So if Russ does not make All-NBA, nothing bad happens to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Only something bad happens to me, which dressing in Russ gear is not bad. I'm going to be dripping. Or I'm going to look like an idiot. Probably
the latter.
The former. But if Brad Beal, if his backcourt mate gets All-NBA, then I win the bet. And that means, oh God, Sean, you're an animal.
That made me laugh. Okay, sorry.
For
the uncontested only fans.
Sean said that the hardened one has to be a lap dance. I don't know if is that punishment or is that congratulatory for winning?
Depends where you go.
Depends who's dancing and who's receiving. That goes on the uncontested only fans.
We're just going to be real clear on that right now.
Oh my!
Okay, so if Brad Beal gets all NBA, Taylor,
and Russ doesn't, I lose.
Yeah, well, no. If Russ doesn't, it doesn't matter. But if Brad Beal does, then you lose this bet, and you have to. What's something about Brad Beal? I don't know a lot about Brad Beal.
I don't either.
Doesn't dress crazy.
The Jordan brand.
What if I have to wear something? I don't know, something like that for a live stream.
I know Brad Beal's a nice guy. He gives people stuff. If Brad Beal wins, you have to, because Brad's like really big in the DC community, like especially with teenage boys, helping them get to college, being a mentor and stuff like that. So if Brad Beal makes all NBA, I get to choose an organization and you have to make a monetary donation to them.
I love it. That's good. That's really good.
With a great bet payoff idea that's like heartwarming and
meaningful. Yeah.
Not like.
And last year I was like, Flat Earth Theory video with Kevin Durant's jersey on. And that's a really good. I love that bet. I might do it anyways.
My last one. So I've done the Philly one. I've done the Shea one. I need one more.
Uno más.
I got it. I'm ready.
Here we go.
The Oklahoma City Thunder end up with a top 2 pick in the 2021 NBA draft.
That's a good one.
Oh man, that's
a
magnificent.
top two draft pick. They either end up with
I don't want to bet against that.
Yeah,
I don't either. I don't know if I bet you a lot yet, Jacob. Maybe I have. I don't know. I'll take you on that though.
Okay.
And maybe like a Thunder draft hat for the upcoming season.
I don't like the draft hats. I don't want that.
That's fair, like the flap bill. Yeah,
I was gonna say, the draft hats are usually amazingly ugly for some reason.
Or on draft night, assuming COVID's gone, or the draft lottery, we could all get together and hopefully do some sort of live pod. And we gotta bring this one back every year. And yes, it's food related, but I'll buy you Bobos.
Oh wow! Yeah, I love that. So
you still owe me Bobos from last year for the record.
We'll make it all even.
The draft lottery will happen, and if the Thunder end up with the top 2 pick in the NBA draft on draft night next June, when COVID's done and we've all got a vaccine in our bloodstream, all of you guys come to my house. We watch the draft together. We post game pod after.
Yes,
and Taylor's buying Bobos.
I like it. If
we don't end up with a top 2 pick, I buy Bobos.
Perfect.
So Bobos for the pod.
I love it. Oh, for the way that's good. Okay.
Love.
Hopefully Bobos is still open.
Also fair.
God,
it better be.
If COVID shut Bobos down, I will go find the man that ate the bat, and I'm going to beat his ass.
That's good.
Oh my goodness.
All right, well, gentlemen,
I like it.
I want to recap our bets real quick for those of you either watching the live stream or listening at home. First one, Justin says Baisley's going to have a 40-piece this year. Taylor took the bet, so they're betting on Baisley scoring 40 points in a game. They are betting a 40-count nugget tray from Chick-fil-A. Taylor has betted that Theo Maledon will start by the end of the year. That's a bet with me. We're betting a croissant. That was maybe a croissant. I am betting that Philly will be the 2nd seed in the East. Me and Justin are going head-to-head on that one. Obviously betting a Philly cheesesteak because, of course.
With onions, to be clear.
So Philly 2nd seed between Jacob and Justin for a Philly cheesesteak. Justin and Taylor betting on Theo hitting 40% from 3 this year.
Ooh, something about that 40 number.
Whoever loses has to sing the French national anthem and post it to twitter.com.
Oui.
Motherfuckers. The next one.
I mean, Sean, he likes my bets.
Tayler says 4 different players will have a 30-piece this year. Justin took the bet. This will be for an earned edition hat, shirt, etc., whatever you guys decide on.
Cool.
Justin and I are betting that SGA will have a 35-10-10 game. We bet a round of Top Golf on that. We'll get the whole pod crew up at Top Golf, and Justin will have to pay for me to knock golf balls and be belligerent. Justin and I also bet that Harden won't be traded this season. Whoever loses has to change their Twitter avatar to a Harden pick. We're not going to do the lap dances. Not interested. Tayler and I make a bet. If Russ makes All-NBA, Tayler gets to choose a Russ outfit that I have to wear. If Brad Beal gets All-NBA, Tayler has to donate money to charity. I haven't decided what the charity. I'll decide what the charity is going to be.
Cool.
It's going to be something good.
Yeah, I like that.
Like it.
I don't know what it's going to be yet. Probably like the paying to like recount all the votes or something. I don't know. That's a joke. That's a really bad joke. Last one. I say OKC will get a top 2 pick in the draft. Tayler took it. We are betting Bobos for the entire podcast. How did not Nick and Kamiar, because they weren't on this show. It's only for us 3.
There you go.
Nick and Kamiar can buy their own damn Bobos.
Yes, aligned.
Here.
So good bets, guys. Should be fun. We will keep tally on these as we go out throughout the regular season. We will pay them out as they come up. We're going to be more diligent about them this year. I will make Justin buy me a pizza before this season starts. I think I owe Nick a hat.
It's preseason on Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I don't know what kind of pizza I want. I don't know what kind of pizza's around the new house. I know there's a Papa John's, but I don't know if he's still racist or not. So
owned by Shaq now.
Right? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, owned by Shaq.
Yeah. Papa John's owned by Shaq?
Yeah, or like he's like a big investor or something.
Yeah.
So is it safe to eat it again?
Sure.
Okay.
They got those like papadillas, which low-key sounds disgusting and low-key sounds amazing.
Yeah, I haven't decided how I feel about those yet.
Me neither.
I haven't had one, but there's something about it that, at like midnight, 1 a.m. sounds like it'd be real good.
It just looks like a folded up piece of pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
I mean,
like a cheap calzone.
Dude, I love calzone.
On this pod. We also talked a lot of food on this pod too.
I'm a real big calzone guy.
Me too.
Big fan. Guy.
Big fan.
God, why am I forgetting his name from Parks and Rec? The dude that loves the calzone.
Ben Wyatt.
Ben Wyatt. I am totally Ben Wyatt. Super nerd, likes calzone.
Yes. Yeah, he does love a calzone. Sean just put in our chat. He said the easiest bet. Kenrick Williams needs Indeed.com. Sponsor of the pod by week's end.
I like it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think gets cut really fast?
Say it again.
Who gets cut really fast? Who do you guys think?
Kenrich Williams, Isaiah Roby. Who's the third?
Miller?
I just had it. Who'd you say?
Darius Miller? Or something Miller. I don't know.
It costs too much to buy out.
Yeah.
I think Kenrich. I said this on the post game pod. I think Kenrich Williams is going to be the first one.
Agree.
Kenrich is gone. Isaiah is gone. Someone else will be gone. I don't know. We're not going to miss it very much. Adios, buddy. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for checking out the live stream. Schofield, that's a good one. I was thinking Schofield too. Nick Crane will be very
guy. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out the live stream. We really appreciate you guys if you jumped in with us. Again, every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Time, we will be here hanging out with you guys. So come join us. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts at, as we will be dropping post-game pods after every single Thunder game. Who's got Wednesday? Is it one of you two? Cool. Justin will be live with you Wednesday, post-game pod. Maybe I'll hop on with you, Justin. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey.
And if it's a good game, we'll jump on it.
Actually, watch this.
If it sucks, you're on your own, buddy. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Again, subscribe to the pod. Drop a 5-star rating. It means a lot to us. Makes me feel good. It's a good Christmassy thing to do. It's a 5-star rating. You already have 1 star on your tree. Now give 5 stars to the Uncontested because we're more important than your Christmas tree. Thank you again, guys. Stay safe. Wear your mask. We will talk to you Wednesday after the Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Chicago Bulls. Until then, have a great beginning of your week. Stay warm, stay safe. Thunder up.